Hi, friends. January may be a bit behind us, but let's not forget that meaningful change does not run on a calendar, which means truly it's never too late to learn how to plan a change in our life that actually works. Like I mentioned in earlier video, today our intention is to learn why our resolutions and plans drop well before they reach the finish line and what to do about it so that we can see the change that we're looking for in our life. And this video is not limited to setting the resolutions right for the new year alone. In fact, it is more about learning how to plan any significant change in your life. It could be anything, career move, it could be your health goals, or rebuilding your confidence, or even stepping into the chapter that's quietly calling you. Stay with me for the next minute and I'll reveal why our plans unravel well before they are ever achieved. Many of us set our plans and resolutions with good intentions. However, we do not see the results we hope for. And like I mentioned in my former video as well, that it does not mean that we are lazy or we lack discipline or consistency. It is because we do not start from the right place. So let's uncover it right now. What is the main reason behind the drop-off of our plans and resolutions well before they reach the finish line? There is often a subtle confusion beneath our decision. What do I mean by that? Every time you sit down to make a decision or decide on something, there is a tension between the pressure-based choices and intention-based decision. And unknowingly, what many of us do is let this pressure easily take the lead. Now, that could be the pressure from anything, a pressure from time, pressure from people, pressure to meet everybody else's expectations, pressure from friends, family, pressure from the outside circumstances, and pressure of the fear from falling behind, pressure to stay far ahead in the game and outperform everyone, right? Pressure could come in so many ways. Our plan to change are built on pressure and not on clarity. And what happens when the goals do not come from within? It is very unlikely to go for longer. And for students like us, for people, immigrants, and young professionals who are already going through transition, life is already very uncertain. There is self-doubt, there is pressure, there is transition. And when we force ourselves to the change that's built on pressure, what happens is burnout becomes inevitable. So this is a pressure. And when you are letting it take the lead, how does your self-talk, how does that conversation look like? Let's have a look. This is what your pressure says. Oh no, I'm already behind. I'm not doing well. I'm running out of time. There were so many people that started this journey with me, but they seem to be far ahead in the game now. How come I'm behind? I need to make sure that I outperform everyone. I need to stay ahead in the game. I can't wait for longer. I saw somebody doing that on social media and it did work for them. I want to replicate that success. I need to do this to look successful in front of others. This is not good. I will do this in this coming year. I have to achieve this. See, this is not me. This is the pressure talking to the person who is sitting to decide. If someone set their decisions, set their plans or resolutions based on what just happened, do you think it's likely to go far? No. Like I mentioned, when you're already going through a transition, overwhelm, and pressure, this kind of resolutions will only burn you out. But what happens if you step up with intention? Let's look at the conversation, this time with intention. Let's welcome intention on the picture. How does your self-talk look like? I choose to grow. I don't need to compete with anybody. I'm allowed to go at my own pace. This year, I'll take every step to tap into the better version of myself. I do not seek anyone's validation, and I do not need to fulfill anyone's expectations. I am truly becoming the more aligned version of myself. This year, I will try to create something sustainable. I will enjoy the learning as I go. Did you see the difference? When your self-talk sounds like this, what do you think will happen when it comes to change making plans? This is exactly what I meant when I said it is about building an inner change that is rock solid. You're fully stable, you are retouching your core values, you know you're doing things because you're passionate about doing it, not because you think that will drive success just like it did to somebody else. So this year, this is my request. Don't try to force yourself to become someone else. Start by stabilizing your inner self, and everything meaningful will grow from there. This understanding is what led me to develop the growth framework, a simple yet powerful way to approach change. This has been built on my own lived experience as an international student, having lived that journey myself. Like I have expressed in a few different platforms a few times, and if you're not aware of this already, this model is based on timeless principles of performance science as well as theory of resilience and goal setting. I have distilled those principles into a simple structure which is easy for everyone to follow. And today I would like to walk you through a step-by-step process to apply this personal transformation model to set your New Year resolutions right. If you embrace this wholeheartedly and use this with intention, I'm very assertive that this will transform you as a person. So let's go ahead and see how growth can help us set our New Year resolutions. So the very first step is grounding. Before you plan anything for the new year, I invite you to pause. Grounding is about stabilizing your inner world before you chase any external goals. So really want to ask yourself how you are truly entering this year. What's your emotional state, your mental state, and your physical state? Because change built on an unstable inner state really lasts, like we discussed on our video lesson today. And if you skip this step, what happens? You're forcing yourself into change. And that is when it is very unlikely to achieve your goals. So begin with grounding in the first place. Once you have done that, we come to reflect. We sit for reflection. Reflection is not about judging yourself or replaying regrets. It's about understanding what last year taught you, what worked, what drained you, and what matters more now than it did before. Because clarity always comes from honest reflection and not pressure. And also, whenever we reflect, it doesn't have to be a judgment about our past actions, about our own personality as an individual. It is just the detailed information that can be used forward to make purposeful decisions for the coming year. Let's not forget that. And once we are grounded and clear, it's time to organize our focus. Instead of trying to fix everything at once, choose 1 to 3 meaningful priorities, because real progress always comes from alignment, not overload. If it feels heavy, it's usually too much. So we don't want to self sabotage ourselves unknowingly by setting too many goals, but be really focused on achieving 1 to 3 meaningful goals. This is where action begins, but gently and consistently. It's time for us to take consistent actions and start small enough that you can stay with it even on hard days. You can work on it even when your motivation fades. Because we are not chasing intensity here, we're just building the rhythm. Let's not forget that again. And consistency over time always beats motivation. Once you have worked the plan, it is time to measure the progress. And tracking is not about being hard on yourself, it's about staying aware of what's working and what needs adjustment. Notice the patterns, the energy levels, and small wins. And progress becomes sustainable when it is observed with compassion. And it is not about criticism, it is about becoming fully aware of what have worked for you. It's time for harnessing the momentum. This final step is about building momentum from what's already working. Instead of constantly starting over, you reinforce your progress. And confidence grows when you acknowledge how far you've come. And this is exactly how growth stops being a goal and becomes a part of who you are. You see, when you follow this order, growth stops feeling exhausting because you don't need to fix your whole life. Just take the grounded step. I have dropped a link below for you to download the growth worksheet from the pinned comment, so that you could work at your own pace to set the tone for 2026. I'm very, very assertive again. If you embrace this entire thing wholeheartedly, you'll see a massive transformation in your life. So here is to a grounded, intentional year ahead. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video lesson soon. Thank you.